Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Door Shutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of the Direwolf20 1.21 Modpack, and today we are getting into Mekanism to get Lithium to get the Induction Matrix multi-block. This will allow for us to store a lot of power, and this is going to be where our mycelial reactor will pipe into. It'll allow for us to just have a ton of power, and that'll go into our Ender network and all of that stuff. And this will be fantastic. So, thermal evaporation chambers. This stuff is very, very simple to make. Steel, copper, so once you get your metallurgic infusers automated, or your steel production, however you're doing it, you will be able to then get this. These blocks are needed to craft the thermal evaporation valves, and of course more mechanism pieces. These are required to pipe in water, pipe out brine, pipe out the liquid lithium, several other things. I think even putting heat into the actual evaporation chamber or the thermal evaporation chamber multi-block. And we'll get into those, but just so you know it. And of course, you can hold Shift and N to learn just a little bit more about these. The Mekanism Wiki, which I will link down in the description, always love linking that because it's really well done. There's some things that are kind of missing here and there, but overall, I think it covers quite a few of the bases. And we also need the controller. This just basically makes the multi-block. If we quickly press Recipe, Thermal Evaporation Blocks, Advanced Control Circuits, Stained Glass, and some buckets. Nothing too complicated. And then also solar generators, advanced solar generators in this case, which require 4 solar generators to make one. Get 4 of these. This will make it the most efficient that it possibly can be. And I also just realized I'm going to need to push this out just one here. Okay, so let's get our blocks here. And we are going to grab our building gadget. I think the building gadget now works with these, if I'm not mistaken. It does. Perfect. So this will be a 4x4. And then we're going to just place a ring around the center here. And we're going to get our controller placed down. We're just going to place it either here or here. It doesn't really matter. I think you could honestly just place it here if you wanted to. You just can't place it in the floor. So we just need to make this the actual proper height. And we can just make the bare minimum for a second, just so you guys can see what we're looking at here. So that should kick on there. So now, of course, we don't have any valves to pipe anything in, but this is what the multi-block will do whenever you have it fully formed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up 18 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're going to knock one down because this is actually where the advanced solar generators are going to go, is on the corner there. And you can hear this thing running, which this will actually generate power. And that's why we're in the mining dimension, by the way, so we actually can have full daylight, so this actually does work. And then the rest of these, we're just going to build up. Let me actually quickly just mechanism. We're just going to mute this outright. And then here, we're going to go up to that 18th block. So 18 is correct. I just knock off the corners 1. So we'll just go here, 17, 17, jump up here, and accidentally do that. So this will be 18 on these guys. Okay. And then the one thing is whenever you place multiple of these, you have to make sure you're not overlapping your solar generators because they do hang over one block. So you'd have to go 2 blocks. So you'd go 1, 2, because your solar generator is going to hang over to this block. So your next one could be here. And of course, if you wanted to have more space, you could just do 3 blocks and call it a day. So that way you have at least a little bit more of a gap for pipes and stuff like that. But that's up to you guys. All right. So that is a fully formed multi-block. We're going to move the controller back up 1 just because I like to be kind of eye level with this. And you'll see that this thing will start heating up. So I've got a recessive heater here and I've got a valve. And we're actually going to get this put in place first. Because we're going to use this between both multi-blocks. So let's put this valve here, and we're going to grab what is called what are they called actually? Thermodynamic conductors. That's what they're called. And we're going to put them plus the recessive heater, just like so. And we're going to actually pull out heat. So I've got a configurator. This is the recipe, and this actually has been changed since the last time. But steel, osmium, 2 iron ingots, and you get the configurator. Of course, scrolling with shift, click, does change it. And actually, it looks like it changes the look of the configurator, too, when you're on certain modes, which is actually pretty cool. I like that visual indicator. But yes, so if we just shift right click, that'll change it to push. You want to change it to pull, and that'll pull heat out of here and push into here. Of course, I think the max we can do is 2000. And that should be heating this up pretty well. So let's grab an ender gate. And I do believe we actually need to rotate this, so we can actually hit the, whatever this is called. The power side, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay. And then let's grab some energy upgrades. Which I don't really think we need too many of these, but let's just go with 16. Oh, I can't put energy upgrades in here. Okay. That's okay. But this should be getting heated up much further than default. So that's kind of why you do this, is because you want to, at the end of the day, send out more than than normal. And I think what I actually need to do, let's see. Let me grab a cardboard box here, because I don't think this is fully working. So let's set the recessive heater on top of this block. And then pull, and we can push. And then we will just do rotate. Oh, why are you not rotating? There it goes. Okay. And then we're just going to rotate, and then we'll put the ender gate back there. So that should start getting this back up to temp, which 2000, I believe, is the max this can actually reach. But I'm not even sure about that anymore. I may be wrong. Again, we can reference the wiki if we need to, but this thing is still cruising on its heat. So the next thing we want to do is we want to grab a sink. And we are going to be using mechanism pipes for this, by the way. Just kind of always like doing that. So we're going to grab some mechanical pipes, and we're going to grab these valves. So we're going to need an input and we're going to need an output. So we may as well just put both of these down. And let's see. So let's go disconnect. We're going to pull out of this one and push into this one. So this is a sink, and this will be our next thermal evaporation chamber. Right? Because this next one, which I don't think I've told you what we're actually doing with these, we do need 2 of these. So we will be doing 2 of these. But this is the first one, which is only going to require water. So if we actually hit this, that will start pumping water in here. This will then make brine. Once there is enough water in here, we'll start making brine, which is actually already being made. It's just being piped into here. So brine, which is this recipe, will then become lithium, or liquid lithium in this case. We do need to make sure we specify liquid lithium, not lithium. There's a difference. Liquid lithium then goes into a rotary condensator that then turns it into lithium. And then from there, you need to make a chemical crystallizer to then make lithium turn into lithium dust. And this lithium dust is the product we're wanting. So that is how we're going to get it. So yes, this is our very base thing. And then, of course, each one of these requires a higher tier. So just keep that in mind. That's how we're doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically copy most of this one for one. I think this valve will be an output instead of an input, because this valve is going to be your input. And so we're going to have another valve here. And I actually don't have everything for this one because I actually only crafted 1 set of these. So let's actually go for 2 of these. 1 for heat, 1 for the output. And then we're going to want a controller. So 1 of these guys, and then I think we're going to need several more blocks, which is going to be right here. We're just going to grab 256, which is probably overkill, but that's okay. We may make more of these in the future. So let me get this one constructed. It's the exact same way. I guess I do need 4 advanced solar generators as well. May as well grab those. But yes, teaching your system to autocraft this stuff, definitely the best way to do this, because it takes quite a few blocks. So let me get this done, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we've got the chemical crystallizers here. We're going to get these attached to a mechanism pipe, or the ender gate attached to a mechanism pipe. We're going to do pull, and this actually does work. I tested this before I actually started recording, but this will then allow for us to get the fluid. We're going to input on the top. Why are you not taking this in? Oh, hold on. I forget. We need the rotary condensators, right? Rotary might have helped if I moved my mouse cursor away from that thing. And we need a basic chemical tank. Scroll down here. And let's grab 2 of these bad boys. Okay. And then we'll put these guys down. We'll just do this. And we're going to just make sure that we know these are going into. And then up here in the top left, you want to click this button. We're going to quickly just muffle those sounds. Perfect. But this is going to make lithium. Okay. So after that, we do need some tubes, which I don't think I actually have. Mechanism. Ultimate. So I don't think I actually crafted these guys. Which is the pressurized tubes. No, I have not. So let's get the pressurized tubes real quick. So these are gas pipes, basically. You could get the ones from pipes. Personally, I just enjoy using Mekanism whenever I'm doing Mekanism. So we're going to do that instead. Okay, let's get these in place. And we'll go for 64 of these. May as well. And then we'll put the chemical crystallizers. Let's just say... down here. And we will just move the pipe, the actual lithium. Alright, so we're just going to run these tubes directly across the corner. This is not going to look pretty, but that's okay. This will function. Okay, another Mekanism machine to mute. Also, you could just grab the muffle upgrades for Mekanism if you really were worried about it, but I don't feel like wasting the resources on those, so we're just doing it this way. And then that will give us lithium dust. This is beautiful. This is perfect. How am I going to get lithium dust? Because the controller's right here. Well, one way to do it. Perfect. Okay, and then we just grab a drawer. We'll take the void upgrade out of it, though. And we will do item, output, eject, and then just a... I don't think item pipes will work here. Hold on. I don't think I actually set to make logistical pipes, did I? If I really want to make item pipes just for this. The logistical transporters, I mean. I think we'll bite the bullet and we'll do one actual normal pipe. Okay. But that is production of lithium. And technically we can entangle block this and send it back out to the overworld. But for right now, I'm just going to let this run. Because this is going to take some time to really get us anywhere. And that is another thing. Like, this is not going to be fast. You probably want to do multiple of these, because you will use a lot of lithium for these multi-blocks. But we also can grab some speed upgrades and some energy upgrades. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab... I don't even want to grab 12. I just want to grab the default of 8. So that's our normal amount of speed upgrades. And then we go for the energy upgrades. Perfect. And that will be beautiful. Okay, so this should now run faster. Of course, it will burn through more liquid lithium, which I don't actually know. What's our status on that? So the liquid lithium is decreasing because our brine is decreasing, which is what we want to see. I want to see a deficit because at the end of the day, that means we're actually processing basically the exact same. So that'll be fantastic. Okay. Yeah, we've already got over a stack of this. So for the multi-block, for Mekanism, let's see, Mekanism, Induction. Okay, let me move my mouse here. So we would need, and we'll just start auto-crafting this stuff. So the induction casings, that's our first step. our induction ports, which are input and output. We could do structural glass if we wanted to, or we could stick with the induction casings as the walls. I don't really know. I mean, the cost alone and the speed at which it would craft probably makes structural glass a better option, in my opinion. I'd also know you do have reactor glass, but that also is a time taker. So let's actually just go for this. I don't think I've ever used structural glass for the multi-block, but we're just gonna give it a go. The next thing is we probably want to get all of the tiers of the induction cell and the provider. So the cell and the provider. So let's go use. And you can see that there's 4 that are needed there. The next thing is 4 are needed there. So you can kind of see how much lithium you're going to require to do this. So there's all 4 tiers. Let's move my tools here so I can just have all tiers kind of set next to each other. So of course more lithium, and then the exact same situation. And also I guess we do need to teach this thing how to make cubes as well. Okay, and this one didn't okay, so this one did require cubes. So we'll snag those as well. The advanced tier, then the elite, and then the ultimate. Okay. We will then scroll down in our crafting table, and we will just grab all of these goodies and put them in here. And then after a little while, we will snag some of our lithium. And we will put it in here and hopefully be able to auto-craft. Because I don't think we have enough to do anything. Because basically, I think what we want to do is this stores... So, induction cells. Let's actually talk about the difference here. So, induction cells, this is your capacity, right? Highly conductive energy capacitor capable of storing massive amounts of energy in a single block. The provider would be your output, right? So the more you have, the more you can output. So 52.442 million FE for the 1. So the more you have, just multiply it by 4. So an advanced complex of coolant systems, conductors, and transformers capable of expanding the energized induction's matrix maximum rate of energy transfer. So some good stuff. Definitely, definitely. But I want to at least get 4 of these and 4 of these. Maybe not 4 of these, maybe just 2, maybe just 1. It's 1.6 trillion FE. So I'm going to let this process for a little while, and we will be back then whenever I have enough, which is going to be probably about 2,000 plus lithium. Yeah, it's going to take a hot minute. Let's clear out our inventory real quick. Man, it's going to take a minute. All right, I'll be right back. Alrighty, let's get this going here. So I've got some casings, I got some structural glass, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make... I actually don't know the minimum of this multi-block, because I don't really make this one that often, but we're going to give some experimentation here and see how we get this going. We also need the ports, or whatever they're called in this case. Induction... I did forget to make these. So we're just going to grab 2 of these. We actually may want a couple more than that. We get 2 per batch, by the way. We're not really making too many different things here. Okay, so let's get this set up just like so. And we'll probably just fill in the sides just like this as well. And then the bottom. And I think the top will probably be where we actually do all of this. And this thing has no actual things attached to it. So we're going to be able to run like an energy pipe directly into this. It looks like we got an applied energistics cable here. Let's see. Can I potentially just move this down? Looks like I can. Okay. Cable shenanigans. but that's okay. Let's grab Mekanism. Probably grab 32 of these just in case. But we'll use this as power transfer. Where is my configurator? There it is. And we'll just travel. Induction. So this will be where the port is. And then induction cell, providers. And we'll just close this up. Let's actually do structural glass like I said I was going to. I was thinking of putting this more above ground, but I just ended up not doing that. And this, of course, now we can right-click and we can see that there is no power in it, which, of course, there should not be any power in this because we don't have any of that set up yet. Or on, at least. So we'd want to do the push. And then here we'd want to do pull. And there is no power in this one yet. The next thing is we probably want to either void the power that's in these or put the power that's in here into the actual multi-block. So let's actually just put it into the multi-block as of current. And there's also stuff in these already, isn't there? Is the redstone signal on? It is. So it's just going to burn through what it's got. I just accidentally nailed a cow, by the way. Yeah, it's going to take a minute. So we'll let these burn through. And we may actually have the mycelial reactor kick off for a second at least. No? It's not kicking off. I'm kind of surprised. I may have like a couple that aren't actually active. So halitosis. It looks like the potion one's not working. That one. Okay. So some of them have already burned through it or just have not had any in there. Man, that explosion one hurts. Okay. Good stuff. So let's just close this on up. And I think we haven't put the port here, right? That was the problem. Just going to keep taking the damage here for a second. That's fine. Okay. So we are now storing power, which is beautiful. So let's just let this line die out, which should happen here in a little while. Yeah, most of these are going to take a minute to actually even start. So what we can do is we can just do this. We should just see power influx like crazy. Maybe? Which one of you are not starting? The death? What is wrong with you? Missing channel. So I put an AE2 channel somewhere, which I think is technically this one. We should probably be running now. No? Still missing channel. Where did I add another channel? The only channel that I've added... We're going to turn this off for right now. So the milker is the only thing that I've added to that line. Too many channels. Oh, hold on. It looks like the P2P was broken here. Let's get that figured out. I don't know why that broke. I think maybe I did break that intentionally for some reason. That may be working now. I think that was on me. This dang nether generator is gonna kill me, I think. I will probably die at least once with this setup. That's why we got Totem of Undying. Okay, so are you still missing a channel? No, you are not. How are we doing down here? He's still alive? Okay. Just needed to check. So we should now be able to just cruise, right? Let's just, yeah, these should be golden. We'll give it a swing. There we go. So now, we should just be putting in a ton of energy. And I mean an absolute metric ton. Because we are generating 25 million FE a tick. Did I accidentally kill a cow? I think I did. That dang relic. That's okay. But yeah, it looks like everything is cruising. Everything's generating. And I mean, I guess right now, if we wanted to, we could double check and make sure that comparators send no signal on this. No signal. Okay. So realistically, there's no way for us to say, hey, this is out of items. Stop sending to everything. We don't have a way of doing that unless we did like toggle or level emitters on all of these, which would just be excessive. But I think we're providing enough items. Like the nether wart blocks. How many do we have of these? Like 1,000? Yeah. Ooh, what generator's doing that? That's funny. Is that the rocket one? I like the rocket one more, man. Okay, can I stop levitating though? I'm trying to see about acceleration cards is what I'm looking for. Just making sure all of them got it. Perfect. I think we're good. I think we are golden. We have a manual shut off. And I think I'm going to keep the sourceberry sandwich generators here anyway, just continuously running. But I want to feed that power into here rather than anywhere else. So that way we just have like an infinite backup in a sense. So let's get... I doubt we'll be able to run this direction, yeah, because there's this right here. But if we were to go out one more block... we could potentially... yeah, we could just run it from here. Okay, let me get the power cables and stuff ran between this episode and next, and... I mean, we've got a successful power gen. I'm going to turn this off for now, because we are just going to have a ton of power. We're not going to have any storage for it or anything. Also, real quick, before I forget, I wanted to explain why we did the induction matrix rather than anything else. Applied flux is a fantastic way to store a lot of power. It is not a good way to send power out to machines or to processing areas or anything of that sort, because there is no increase you can do to the limit it can transfer and input, right? So the more you need, the more you're probably going to screw yourself. Just going to put it out there. I wish there was a way to increase the limit, but as of right now, there is not. And with something like this, I can take this whole induction matrix and I can make it bigger, right? I can add more of the providers. I can add more of the actual cell pieces. I can do all of that. And there is no problems with it. Because right now, we're only on one layer. And we can store 3.2 trillion FE or TFE. I don't even know if it stands for trillion. But a ton of power, right? We already have 76 giga FE or GFE in this case, which is just absolutely insane. And we can push out 8.49 KFE, which I think is 8,490. So we may want to put more units and stuff, right? To make sure our input and everything is golden. But overall, this is fantastic. This is operational. We probably have a whole bunch of lithium over in the mining dimension while we've been doing this. Because I have put this on a chunk loader, so that way we can just continuously get more. So we'll have, by some point, 65,000, and that'll work pretty decent. I may push it over to our system sooner or later, but for right now, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.